I think that's pretty cool, Zach. But let me ask you something. What do you think of this?
Wow. That's pretty good, Mark. That's really impressive. But Mark, I've got a question for you.
Okay.
What do you think of this?
Not bad. Not bad. That's not bad, Zach. But let me ask you, what do you think of this?
You probably know a few of these tunes by heart, don't you? Of course you do, I mean, they're classics, but I'll bet you never asked yourself the question on why you know them.
Whoa, hold on. Of course I know them. They're great games.
They absolutely are, but it's not that easy.
So I guess we gotta do history, huh? In 1972, brand new developer Atari shipped their first product, Pong.
The cultural phenomenon Pong paved the way for the video game industry as a whole. It was fresh, it was new, but it was just missing something.
Ow, holy shit. Oh my fucking god.
Yeah, those machines can't make sound very well.
By the time Space Invaders released in 1978, things were getting better. While it didn't really have a score, it was able to give us something close. 4 descending notes on repeat until you either destroy all the aliens or they destroy you.
And in 1980s, the boys over at Namco released Pac-Man. Another breakout success, this was the first arcade game to contain music at all, with that pre-level melody. And Namco's next game, Rally X, would break even more ground by being the first video game to have continuous looping background music.
That's what we call a banger. But as the 80s pushed onwards and technology got better,
so too did the video games, and things were about to pop off.
Will you be the one to witness the birth of the incredible Nintendo Entertainment System? The first to play with Rob, the extraordinary video robot. Batteries not included. He follows the commands you put on the screen, so you get to the dynamite before it explodes. Will you be the one to raise the incredibly accurate zapper and play games like Duck Hunt? Will you be the one to experience the Nintendo Entertainment System? Comes with Rob, Zapper, Control Deck, 2 controllers, Gyromite, and Duck Hunt.
Yo, dude, is that the Rico 2A03 8-bit microprocessor manufactured by Rico for the Nintendo Entertainment System video game console? Surely, you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
5 distinct audio channels? What, square waves? Triangle waves? Oh, an 8-bit sampler? No way, dude, no way!
Now we're fucking cooking with peanut oil, boys.
And with the release of the NES, the musical landscape in video games was changed forever. Now, music in video games is a pretty wide topic, but we can generally group them into 4 basic categories. You have the hook, the world, the alarm, and the surprise. You're not funny. Stop. The hook is, just like in literature or film, something meant to get your attention and drag you in. You remember booting up Halo for the first time and hearing this? You see the Halo ring? You hear the choir? Sheesh! Look at that! What's that? It's me. And right from the title screen, you knew it was going to go hard. Now, contrast that last one with Blizzard's 1998 real-time strategy game Starcraft.
This is really boring. You really need to up the energy level. I'm getting sick of this.
Now, don't get anything twisted. Starcraft is in my top 5 games of all time. But I can't tell you the last time I hummed the title screen to myself. And moreover, I don't think the title screen theme accurately represents what the game is going to be about, nor does it do an accurate job of portraying how fast the gameplay is. In professional Starcraft, players will often input upwards of 200, and sometimes even upwards of 300 actions per minute. And the original title screen theme really doesn't get me in the mood to be doing that, compared to this.
That's quite big. Impressive.
I was a little disingenuous earlier when I said that the title screen of StarCraft wasn't a very good hook. I don't want to imply that the hook of a game needs to be in the title screen. Times have changed since the 80s, and people typically watch trailers before they're willing to drop, $60 to $80 on a AAA title. And in my opinion, there's one example of a trailer that just stands so far above the rest of them.
All around me are familiar faces, worn out places, worn out faces. Hide my head, I wanna drown my sorrow. No tomorrow, no tomorrow. And I find it kinda funny, I find it kinda sad. The dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had. I find it hard to tell you, I find it hard to take. When people run in circles, it's a very, very mad world. Mad world.
I don't need to tell you that the trailer is phenomenal. It's easily one of, if not the, best video game trailers ever made. You see, back in 2006, there really wasn't a lot of access to gameplay or demos, so most of us just bought the game on blind faith, based on the trailer. And let me tell you, it did not disappoint. The hook served its purpose to a T, and to this day, you can't look up the song without the comments being flooded with Gears of War fans, nearly 16 years after its release. So, if the hook's in the trailer, then what's on the title screen?
This feels a lot like hell.
Ooh, that's uncomfortable, eh? But it's not exactly engaging either. Well, that's okay, because this piece isn't meant to hook you in. This piece is meant to help immerse you in the world. Atmospheric music is a massive aspect of making a good game. It's the world around you while you're playing. It's what makes the game feel alive, and not just ones and zeros. It's the glue that holds the facets of your game together. Do you remember running around Hyrule Field in Ocarina of Time? I'll bet that you do. The theme was so good! And do you remember being afraid when the sun went down? and the music stopped, and the inevitability of our bleak and meager existence set in on you as you slowly grow into the realization that nothing really matters? You know, probably not, honestly, if I'm gonna be honest. But that's what good atmospheric music does. But, if you haven't heard bad atmospheric music, let me tell you, it's a ride. Not all atmospheric tracks are absolute bangers, but as long as they sit above a certain threshold, then most of the time you won't notice. At its core, atmospheric music should at the least not break your immersion, and at its best enhance your immersion. Guess what game this track is from? If you guessed Marvel vs. Capcom 2, the fighting game, then you'd be right. But does this 8-second loop really get you in the mood to lose all your friends? It makes me want to take them for a ride.
Watch this, Lise. You can actually pinpoint the second.
That his immersion breaks.
And now.
The alarm is self-explanatory. Just take a listen. On its own, you can tell that it's not good. The alarm is where you go from just observing the world to taking a part in it. Alarms can encompass anything from picking up an item to signaling a firefight. There's also death screens. How about save rooms? Alarms communicate information, and they also signal player interaction. Whoa, surprise, I got you, You ever play a game, and then something big happens that you weren't expecting? When something big happens, sometimes a little bit of pizzazz just drives it home. These surprising or shocking scenes just wouldn't be nearly as impactful without the music. Knowing when to use these songs is an art form in itself. Some games might not even contain one, and you know, that's not a bad thing. Trying to ham-fist a moment into a game can destroy a game's flow and even break your immersion. If you know the Metal Gear franchise, then you definitely remember the ladder boss from Snake Eater. This scene was so profound to me my first time through.
What a thrill. Darkness and silence through the night.
I guarantee that nobody saw it coming. An a cappella version of the title track just kind of there, accompanied by a really, really long ladder. But somehow, for as weird as it was, it made the game so much better. And hearing the theme again just reminded you why you're there. My favorite example comes from Gears of War 3. There's one scene that's considered to be one of the saddest scenes ever in a video game. The use of Mad World here elevates the scene beyond all expectation. Using the hook of the first game in this context blew everybody away when it was released. Dom was the first person you met in the original game, and had been fighting alongside you for 5 years. For him to go out to the theme that brought you in was brutally impactful, and to this day still hits home for most of us. And I'll be honest, we've generalized quite a bit here, and the music of video games can go a lot deeper than what we've outlined. But if we can leave you with one final thought, it's this. The music and the game work together to elevate each other and create something greater than the sum of its parts. Not to mention that some pieces of music can serve alternate functions as well. Like earlier in this video, with Aerith's theme from Final Fantasy VII. Normally an atmospheric tune to denote a character, but being used as a surprise in her death scene. Or here, the hook of Gears of War being used as a surprise during Dom's death. The music serves a function that depends on what the game is asking for. And if you grew up playing video games, then you don't need us telling you why having music is important. They're inseparable, they're intangible. Imagine Super Mario Bros. Without the Overworld 1-1 theme. Imagine the Gears of War trailer without Mad World. Imagine Guitar Hero 3 without Through the Fire and the Flames. They just wouldn't be the same. Now, I haven't played a Halo game in almost 10 years, but when I hear the soundtrack, I remember all the time I spent on my 360 rocking out on Xbox Live with my friends. While doing the research for this video, I went down so many rabbit holes from my childhood. From Metroid to Smash, to Metal Gear, to Gears of War. So many memories that were just locked away in my brain, waiting to be recovered. So I guess it serves another purpose then, huh? Making sure that even when the games are long gone, the ones who were there, they never forget.